going to show you a question and a response from an ILEARN question that was provided to students a couple of years ago. And this is what the answer key looks like. I don't have the story, but this is the question and how it's graded. So the question is, most of the sources provide information about hiking in national parks. Which source would be most relevant to students researching how to get the most enjoyment out of hiking in a national park? Justify and support your answer with 2 pieces of evidence from the most relevant source. So in looking at this question, I noticed that most is bold, so that's very important. So I would actually go through here and I would probably make notes on my paper so that I would know just exactly what I need to look for as I'm getting ready to respond to this question. So it says most of the sources provide information about hiking in national parks. Okay, but then it says which source would be most relevant, and we know that relevant means important to students researching how to get the most enjoyment out of hiking in a national park. That's the question. Don't stop there, because now it says justify. So you're going to prove and support your answer with 2. Again, that's bold, so that's telling me I need to give 2 pieces of evidence from the most relevant source. So again, it goes back up to here, these words connect. In looking at the responses, we're given 2 different kinds. We're shown what a 2-point looks like, which is the highest that a student can receive, and then also a 1. So the student that wrote this received all points. And it says source 2, and again, if we go back to the question, it says which you have to specify which one. So it's saying source 2 would be the most relevant source to students who are researching how to get the most enjoyment out of hiking in a national park. Notice they restated that question. This would be the most relevant source because it encourages readers to take in all of the things that are going on around them. So now they've answered the question. The author of source 2 writes, so here it is, we've got where the information is coming from, and the student says writes, so this person has put quotation marks around what the author is writing. Notice the big picture, and they've left out some information here, so that information must not be real important. So notice the big picture, but also the little details. This source also encourages, and that was the other thing that we needed to look for, was the word encourage. This source also encourages readers to do some further research on things that they saw and found interesting on a hike. The author advises. Again, we're referring to the author. This is the first one, and this is the second piece of evidence. Use the descriptions and drawings in your journal to look up more information. So this student has answered that question thoroughly. This student did not answer as thoroughly. Answered the question. Source 2 would be the most relevant source to students who are researching how to get the most enjoyment out of hiking in a national park. This would be the most relevant source because it encourages readers to take in all the things that are going on around them. The author of source number 2 advises. Notice the big picture, but also the little details. So they started off really well, but they only gave 1 source of evidence. They didn't justify with 2 pieces. This person received 0 points. This person wrote source number 2 would be the most relevant source to students who are researching how to get the most enjoyment out of hiking in a national park. That's very general, very generic. It doesn't actually answer the question at all. So it's important to look at the question, see what you need to look for, and then go back and answer the question thoroughly.